What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to try to do something a little different than what we've done on the channel in the past, which has primarily been playthroughs highlighting and celebrating indie games and games that I just feel like you should know about, games I'm excited about. But today I wanted to try to do something a little different in the form of a trailer breakdown for this indie game that I'm really excited about, that's dropping later this year. I'm hoping at some point before November. It's called Neva or Neva. Still haven't figured out exactly how to pronounce that, but it's from the same creators of the highly acclaimed beautiful GRIS, which is a game that we are currently playing on the channel. And yeah, this is kind of a follow-up to that game. It's a different story, follows different characters. However, you can sense a lot of the influence, a lot of the inspiration that GRIS has kind of, followed into this game, and you'll see a lot of the impact on this trailer. Now, I haven't seen this trailer. I saw the teaser trailer that we got way back when that just kind of announced the game and a general look at what the story will be about, but this one is supposed to highlight a little bit more gameplay, actual gameplay of what our character is going to be doing and some of the dangers that we will have to encounter through what I already anticipate to be a beautifully, emotionally evoking story with heart, incredible artwork, and so much more. So if you guys enjoy this kind of content, you want to see more trailer breakdowns, let me know by dropping a like or a comment down below. That would really help out the channel. We're gonna let the trailer play in full, and then I'll go in and frame by frame we'll kind of dissect all the stuff that is likely in this 1-minute trailer. So yeah, without further ado, guys, thanks so much for being here. Without further ado, let's check out the trailer for Neva. All right, guys, there you have it. Our first official gameplay trailer for Neva. Holy moly, guys. I am absolutely, as expected. I had no idea what to expect when it comes to this trailer, but I just knew that emotionally my heartstrings were going to be pulled and I was going to feel something. And that's what I love so much about indie games. It's what I love so much about Neva Studios, Devolver Digital, and what they created with GRIS is that was a game that to this day has become the pinnacle of my gaming experience. And it was a game that did so much with so little. It didn't try to lean so heavily on spectacle or, incredible 3D models. It wasn't made by some massive team of hundreds of developers. It was made by a tight-knit group of passionate creators. And it, to this day, is one of what I consider to be one of the greatest indie games of all time. And so now here we are with Neva, which I believe is the direct follow-up to GRIS, which was, I think, the last game that Neva Studio had created. And it seems to follow a lot of those similar themes of just a true passion project. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm personally at the point in my life where I don't need all these big AAA experiences. I just need games that truly bring me back to a time where games were just simple. They were simple, but they made you feel things that very few games make you feel. And I feel like Neva has the potential to be one of those games for me. So let's start out with this trailer. One of the first things we see, and one of the first things that I notice, is obviously just a beautiful, beautiful color palette. I mean, you're getting those hues of pink, some slight green in there, some blues, some orange, and it all blends together so perfectly. And to me, it very much feels like this is it almost feels like a sequel to GRIS. And I know it's following different characters, but again, like I said in the intro, you're getting a lot of that influence in this trailer, and that watercolor palette definitely sticks out from the jump. Not only do you get a beautiful, what it almost feels like every image and every shot that we see and all of the different environments that you're going to be able to explore when you jump into this game really highlight just beautifully hand-drawn like vistas and areas that you'll be able to explore, and it just looks like everything was just painted by hand. And even the way that the character moves and the way that she interacts with her companion, it's incredible. I mean, the colors really stick out, they pop, and there are certain things that really stand out to me, like just the flowers and even the different shades of green that you get. And once again, like I said, clear inspirations of GRIS and that kind of watercolor palette. And I truly wish that we would get more games like this. I can't imagine how long it took the developers to create this, but yeah, so we get some greens, and then once again, beautiful colors. You get the blues, you get some pinks in there as well. This game clearly emphasizes itself as being one of adventure, one of exploration, and the journey that this game is going to take you on, and that has me really excited. This was definitely one of my favorite shots right here. It's just this, what looks like this cherry blossom field, a field of pink and yellow and green, just absolutely stunning, absolutely stunning. And what I love about these kind of games, and what I love so much about GRIS, is that it very much felt like this was a game that didn't lean and didn't really need a lot of commentary. It told a story through its emotion, through its incredible soundtrack, through its characters and how they interact with each other, or how, the character interacts with themselves and thinks of themselves, and it tells so much through that. I think it's incredible storytelling to be able to tell a story through nonverbal communication and through just the settings and the environment and the emotions that you feel through it. And you can kind of see this as being one that's leaning heavily on emotion and adventure and inspiration, and all of these emotions and things are things that I'm feeling just from looking at some of these subtle images. The animals enjoying their lives, doing their thing, all of the adventures that in the areas that you're going to be able to explore, but also the dangers that you're going to interact. And I think that this is obviously just my guess, but it very much feels like a story of friendship and the bond that is formed through difficult times, and how those difficult times forge stronger bonds. And I hate to say it, but I feel like this game is going to be one that's going to have me in tears. It's going to have me a little emotional. I hope that, based on what we saw in the gameplay, it doesn't look like it's a happy ending for the doggo. I hope that that's not true. I hope it's a story of changing your fate or something like that, But what I like too here is that, and I'll back it up just a little bit, but you're seeing a little bit of action in this game, which is something that you didn't really get a lot of in GRIS, which I'm not mad at. I don't think every game needs to have action sequences. And, I played games like Journey, and Journey was one of my favorite games of all time. And it didn't really have, it didn't have any combat. Like, you weren't fighting, you weren't, doing any of that stuff, but it was still an incredible experience. And I think that's what's great about it, is that it's a game that it feels so different. It does something that you almost praise it for, because it's not something that everyone else is doing. It's a game that leans heavily on its story and not so much on combat to carry it, and I think that's what's great. But one thing I do like is I'll never scoff at good combat. I'll never scoff at when they're placed in the right moments. I think combat can be really, really good and really enhance the story and kind of what's at stake there. So really excited about that. Again, one of the things that really stands out to me is just the watercolor palette here, the beautiful hues of colors blending perfectly together as you're exploring this, what feels like vastly different regions of the game as you go through this story. And looks like there potentially could be some platforming sequences in here, but it's really all about the journey and the experience that you and your pup are going to have together. And what I like too is in this particular part, it looks like there potentially could be some leveling up that happens. And I think GRIS kind of had this as well. As you travel through the game, you got some new abilities, right, that enhanced your capabilities through the world and allowed you to traverse in different ways that you weren't expecting. And it's kind of something that I'm sensing here too, is you're potentially going to level up and be able to use unique abilities that combine you and your doggo companions together, and allows you to perform unique attacks and do things out in the world that help you traverse and get through the story. So I'm really excited to see how they combine these two characters who very much seem critical to the world. But one thing is interesting too is you're seeing throughout the course of this trailer, you're also getting a glimpse of how the little doggo here, which I think I don't know if the doggo's name is Neva or if that's the name of our main character here. I'm assuming one of them is named Neva. That's just an assumption. I have no idea. But one thing I think is really cool is you're seeing the dog grow up, and you're seeing it age, and I don't know, it gives me insight into the potential that this game could be following over the course of months, if not years, of their journey and experience together. So I'm very curious to see what kind of story they're trying to tell here. But you can clearly sense that the dog is growing up. I really love this scene too. Different color palettes, once again, a little bit of blue and purple, which I think is good. Like, there's just so much color in this game. And like I said, I know I'm making a lot of comparisons to GRIS, but like I said, I mean, you're getting a lot of it. You're seeing a lot of inspirations from that game, which I think is great, because I loved it so much. So I would love a lot of the elements that existed and made that game a 10 out of 10 for me. I would love to see a lot of those elements integrated here. And it seems like they've definitely taken a lot of what worked there and incorporated it here to make it better. But you're also getting a sense of, like I said, just the passion that exists between these two characters, the love that's there, the emotion. It's easily going to pull at our heartstrings. I'm telling you guys. I'm very excited to see what they do with this game and how what story they're looking to tell. That's what I'm most excited about, and that's honestly why I love indie games is the stories that they tell and the unique ways in which they tell them. So very excited for this. You know, after playing GRIS, guys, I mean, it continues to be one of my favorite games. We're still working on it right now on the channel. So if you guys want to come and hang out and go on that journey with me, I fully encourage and would love to have you guys. But Neva is a game that is supposed to be dropping at some point in 2024. We're already in July, so I'm assuming it's going to be a fall release. There, you know, even in this trailer, we don't get a specific date. We just know that the aim is for 2024. So I'm hoping that timeline stays true and that we're going to be jumping into this game sometime before the end of the year. But, you know, it's one that I think is one of my most highly anticipated games for 2024. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to drop on Xbox, PS5, Switch, and of course PC. We'll be playing it on pretty much all of those. Really excited to see kind of what this game ends up being. I can't wait for people to get their hands on it and talk about it. So looking forward to playing Neva, guys. If you enjoyed this content, you want to see more trailer reactions or, you know, trailer breakdowns for indie games, just listen to me talk about indie games, I would love to have you guys subscribe to the channel, drop a like on this video, all that good YouTube stuff. And once again, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the playthroughs.